Good afternoon and welcome back to the workbench. Here we have something rather different. I don't think I've ever done anything with a telephone before. But here it is, a telephone, a basic landline phone with the standard plug, at least the plug that we have in New Zealand anyway. I'm not sure about other countries. They may have other things. But anyway, it's a telephone. It's a Dick Smith brand one. I don't know who the OEM is, but there you go. Here's the data for it. It's a Dick Smith speakerphone with display, which is nice. It's F9517. I guess that's the catalogue number probably, but it says here on the telepermit sticker that it's actually a Dick Smith FP-200 telephone, so I don't know. Anyway, if anyone has any data on one of these, that'd be nice, because I don't have any, and Dick Smith's website, you can't find anything. Obviously the brand has been purchased out by another company a long time ago, and all the documentation and everything that they used to have is gone. You can't get it anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, I was trying to use this. I dragged it out. No, not drug it. I think I dragged it out of the shed to use, because my cordless phone is going a bit funny, sometimes not working properly, and I thought the easiest option would be just to plug in a different one, but then this doesn't work. It's a bit yellow. It's probably from the late 90s, I think, or early 2000s, so that's not surprising. But I think I again found this in a bin or something once, years and years ago, and I just kept it because I thought, why not? I actually also thought this might have a caller display feature with the LCD on it. I thought that would be useful, but I don't think so. I think it's just a call timer, and maybe it'll cut off. I think you can set like your timer to say like an hour or 2 hours or whatever, and then it'll maybe cut you off after that time so you don't overspend on toll calls or something. Back when that used to be a thing, I guess everyone just uses Skype and stuff now, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, but yeah, the problem with this is I plugged it in and, well, nothing happened. I lift up the thing and listen, and there's no dial tone, nothing. Press the buttons, nothing happens. Of course, this could be user error, of course, and perhaps you need an external power supply for it to work. It does have speakerphone, so I don't know where it gets the power from to power that. It could be from the battery compartment on the back, which you can see takes two AAA cells. And I did try putting some in there. Now, these are NIM and they may be a little flat, but it doesn't say anything about whether you can use rechargeable or should use them or not. It does say here, disconnect from the telephone line before opening the battery compartment. So it does kind of suggest that, well, I mean, there's probably some electrical connection because it's obviously the same circuit, but maybe this trickle charges these. You're supposed to use rechargeable, although usually if a device does have that, it'll have a sticker as well saying like don't use alkaline or whatever, you have to use rechargeable, so maybe not. Anyway, if you do put cells in it, it does come up with a display, and you can see now it's counting off in seconds here. And you can stop it by pressing the timer button or reset or something anyway and adjust it. Again, I have no idea how this actually works because I don't have the user manual for it. But anyway, it does turn on, but even when I plug it in that regard, it still doesn't do anything. So I'm thinking there might be something wrong with it. I've got an extension cable around here to the side. I don't have a jack in the actual room, but you know, I don't know if you can hear, but I don't know if you can hear that there's nothing there, but yeah, it doesn't do anything. The display does come on, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to look into it, and by that I mean literally look into it by opening it up. So yeah, I'm going to take this apart and see if there's anything obvious and silly. It's possible that, you know, maybe the cable has broken, like at this point where it enters the body. Notice they don't have an actual plug here. Most phones do, but this one is fully captive, so it might have broken like at this point here from being flexed too much or something. I don't know, so it might just be as simple as like re-terminating the cable inside. So I'll check continuity, you know, between the plug and the cable and everything for a start, but yeah, I don't know what's going on, but we'll find out hopefully. let's see, let's open it up. Now, as I said, I've never done a phone before, I don't think. Well, I've used, I cleaned the battery contacts in my cordless phone once, I think, on a video. That was years and years ago, not particularly interesting, but something that is advisable. Cordless phones do tend, the battery contacts, or the charging contacts rather, I suppose, do tend to go a bit tarnished over time, and sometimes it may not charge fully or anything in that event, so it's a good idea to do that. Anyway, I'll just unplug the handset cord as well. Let's get that out of the way. I think I've got all the screws, so there we go. What's in it? Quite a bit, it would appear, which isn't really surprising. Yeah, I mean, of course, it could be the handset that's actually bad as well. We don't know. Now, where does this cord come in? Is that a... oh no, that switch is for the thing, but there we go. I mean, that switch could be bad too. It looks like the line cord comes in here, goes to the switch, which is actuated by this thing here for the receiver when you hang it up, and then that goes through the switch and then to the main board. So yeah, I mean that switch could be bad. Could have dirty contacts in that too. Who knows? Do have an interesting assortment of components here. Various things. We've got a Motorola MC33215. What is that? 215B, I think. Yeah. And then down here we've got a Holtec HT9215D. So I don't know. Probably one of these like a DTMF generator, and maybe the other one is just the main sort of chip that controls the LCD, which is seems to be up here on this other board. Hang on, let me just bring the camera up a little bit. Yeah, so we've got like the LCD seems to be here. At first I thought it was a 16 by 2 character dot matrix. This is some custom thing, just alphanumeric or just numeric, I think. Looks like this cable just goes pass through this PCB and straight to here, so I don't think there's any controller on the other side. Aside from the LCD driver itself, which is under this. There's obviously an epoxy blob on the other side of that. There you can see like the shape of the die underneath, but there's a transformer. The PCB is slightly translucent. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Translucent, not transformer. Anyway, but yeah, and then we've got the keypad is obviously on the end of this ribbon cable, and then we've got a speaker there and everything, and a little microphone down here for the microphone input. Anyway, so that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what that chip there is. What is that? BA3205 or something, I think is what it says. Yeah, BA3205. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's an op amp or something. Could be. I don't see any damage here. No wires have come off. But you wouldn't really expect that. But yeah, I'm going to test continuity on this cord here. And I think the easiest way... oh, that's too big. Easiest way is probably just unscrew this little board here that the switch is on. And probe between that and the... oh no. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that. Okay, so these wires actually go over there. I thought they went to that switch. Not looking properly, looking too much at the camera screen and everything. Okay, but still, this switch could be funny, so worth having a look and seeing if that's an issue. But yeah, we got two like spade terminals on the end of this wire here, so I can probe that to the end of the plug, and we can just have a quick look. So let's just put that in diode mode, preferably so you can actually see it, and we shall probe from the contact here. Let's see. Let's try the other one. Okay, we are actually... It would appear we're not getting continuity. Let's try the other wire. There's glue around these things, but I'd expect something. Is that really all it is? Just actually a broken wire? I suppose that's possible. Unless of course these contacts are tarnished and I can't get a good contact, but I feel like they should do. Let me see, I'll try all the pins on the plug here. Nope, nothing seems to be working. So, yeah, maybe I was right. Maybe it's just the wire is just broken right here or something. Let's see, it's a bit hard to see and probably impossible to see with this thing, but if you can kind of see the two wires on the outer pins, well, not the fully outer pins, but the outer pins that are used in this connector, the left is red and the green is right. I believe you can see, just make it out. Kind of hard to see, but there we go. So green is on the right. If I probe that, make sure my meter is actually connected properly. Yep, no, it is working. So I got that on the green contact. Let me just probe on the green contact itself. Yep, so I am getting connection to the contact, and that is the green wire here. And yeah, I'm not getting anything there. Absolutely nothing. So something has gone wrong here. Yeah, that seems to be the issue. The other one, the red one, yeah, I'm really not getting anything. I wonder if I'll try to turn the resistance up and just see if there's anything. We got anything here? No, that's weird. Okay. Then I have a strange suspicion that that wire is bad. Now, of course, the only problem with that is we don't know where it could be broken. It makes sense it would be broken here, because often that's where things break, is this gets twisted to and fro and then it snaps internally. Interesting that both of them appear to be snapped, but it could also have snapped here somewhere, you know, by the plug as well. So I might have to re-terminate this with a new plug. Not sure yet. I don't really know how to test that. I don't know. I think maybe with some highly advanced equipment and like electrical field probes and stuff, you could maybe I don't know, try to transmit an AC signal down the wire and then probe it to see where the signal stops or something. I'm not sure, but that might require a complete circuit, so maybe that wouldn't work anyway. I am wondering if I should just try an entirely new cable, because I do have like the normal ones. Let me just see if I can get one. Here we go, like the standard handset, not handset cord, but standard, you know, line cord that has the other plug on the end. And maybe if I just cut this off and then just wire this in, because I know this cable works, for example. It might be easier than messing around trying to find out where the break is, because it would appear that there is one. Anyway, so I guess that's the fun part, isn't it? We could guess, I suppose, and say, well, it's probably there, and it might be here. I suppose the easiest way might be to cut the cable here. Maybe, well, cut it back a little bit, maybe there, for example, and then maybe cut it in here. The annoying thing is this end has got like little spade terminals that go onto the board and are hot glued on, so I wonder if maybe I could cut the cable inside, like cut this section out and then wire this in and heat shrink it together, so I don't have to worry about redoing these terminals, because I don't have any terminals that would do that. But of course, you know, as soon as you do that, you find the breakers like over here somewhere, just to be annoying. So I don't know. Let's see. What can we do? Well, we might just trash this whole cable and end up replacing it with this. I don't know, but okay. How about we just cut this off? Cut this off, maybe here. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut it back to like about here, and then we can do a continuity test from that end to the plug, and see if that solved that problem. So make sure, of course, that is unplugged before you do something like that. And then I suppose, well, we can always... Now, we will need to strip that, of course. So let's grab a stripping tool. I wonder if which end I should strip. I don't know. Let's try this one first. So you can pull that out. Oh, it'll be funny if this is not what's wrong with it. Well, actually it won't be funny, but hey, Murphy's Law and all that, right? Okay, so I've got some stripped wire ends. God, my brain is really not working today, is it? Okay, let's do a test here. Green on that side, so let's do a test from here to green. Let's get green here, and then go there. Now we still get nothing. Huh. Okay. That's annoying. What about red? Nothing on red still. Okay, so the break wasn't there. Great. Who wants to bet the break is here somewhere? Ah dear. Oh well, yeah, it's just what it is. Okay. What can we do? What can we do? I'm going to cut this here anyway. Let's just cut that there. Might as well just renew the whole section because we want the repaired bit to be on the inside anyway. So I'll take that screw out. I'll take this bit of wire here out. That we don't need. It's probably fine, but we don't need it anymore. So let's just take that out there. Right, so it looks like the issue could well have been this plug. So I really wonder... I suppose I should check the 20 minutes in. Should probably have checked the cable for signs of damage actually. See if anything was obvious. Just having a look. The thing is, it doesn't appear to be. You know, and it's strange because you'd think, well, it'll be a damaged area where both wires are cut, right? But like, there's nothing here. It's a little dirty because it's old. It's been in the shed and everything. I did clean it up a bit before I decided to try it out, but like, there's no like significant sorry, I know that's probably not in focus, but I mean, I can't find any significant like gouges or anything in it that would be obviously an issue with both wires, except maybe that little bit there, but even that doesn't seem like much of anything. There's like a small mark there, but I doubt that would be bad enough. Who knows? Maybe I'll just I think I've got a spare plug somewhere. I might give that a go. I won't be able to get any anyway, because it's Saturday, so JCar probably has them for like $20 each, but you can get them for like 20 cents at the other place. But they're not open on Saturdays or weekends really. So yeah, but I think I do have a spare one of these plugs, so I might just try doing that. But before I do that, I'll just cut this one off. We can cut this one off and do a continuity test on the wire. And we'll just see. So I don't know. Let's take that back to like here. Such fun. The reason I'm doing that over this is because this one is slightly wider, because it does carry... Does it carry four conductors? No, it doesn't actually, but it's wider and it probably won't fit in this hole properly. So I'd rather use this one, it's thinner. Let's strip this back and then do a test. The cable is getting shorter and shorter by the minute. Not a big deal to me because I do have an extension cord anyway. So let's see, that's still in shot. Good. Let's see if this section of cable has continuity. It does! Well, look at that. Okay. And the other wire, the red wire. Yep, we're good there too. Okay, so it was the actual plug end. It was this, so I lost the coin toss on that one. Cut the wrong end, should have cut this end first. In hindsight, maybe I should have tried this first because it would have been easier to do. Oh well, whatever. What can you say? Okay, I have returned with a crimping tool and a plug. Here's a new plug, here's the wire, and here is my cheap crimping tool, because I don't really crimp these on very much, so it doesn't matter to have a cheap one. Anyway, it works. So, let's just make sure we look at this again. So it is green on the right and red on the left. Yeah. And of course you've got to bend the wires out a little bit to make sure they go in the right positions on the connector. It's really annoying with these because, you know, like Ethernet ones are clear and you can actually see much more easily where the wire goes. With this, it's yeah, not as easy. Anyway, so, you know, you've got to look very closely and make sure that everything is correct. It looks like that might not actually be in the right hole, or maybe it is. Oh no, it just looks weird on camera. Yeah, those are correct. Okay, so hopefully this goes well, because this is the only spare plug I have. If this doesn't work, I'll have to wait till Monday to buy some more. But anyway, it should be okay. Obviously you do want to make sure the wires are long enough. If they're too short, they won't reach into under the contacts, and then you'll just crimp the contacts down onto nothing. Make sure the wires are long enough. Looks like about this long is good. It looks like a centimetre, I think. I shall crimp that in with the machine. Now, which way around does this go? That way. Okay. So we plug that in there. Squeeze down. And that should be done, which it is. Great, now let's just verify continuity of that to make sure it has actually worked, because otherwise we'll just be confusing ourselves if we go, okay, why doesn't this work now, even though I replaced the connector? But it's like, well, it's because you didn't crimp it properly. So let's just make sure I have crimped it properly. So we want to do continuity test from red to red, the moment of truth. Ah, we have a connection, excellent. And green to green. We have a connection. So now for the fun part, I have to reconnect these two together now with some heat shrink and all that. Ah dear. Oh well. I suppose, you know, Murphy's Law. You have to get the wrong one. It's just the way it is. But anyway, like I said, at least we can create the joint like inside the phone, so you won't see it. It won't look terrible. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I'll just go find all the appropriate stuff for that and get my soldering iron on, and I'll come back when I'm about to do that, I suppose. Okay, so this wire is rather annoying to strip. I have to strip it with my soldering iron, I think, because trying to do it with a wire strippers, it just kind of breaks it, and they're not actually able to get in thin enough for this this wire. It seems to be kind of like twisted together, kind of braided maybe, and like the strands are twisted in pairs together, and then it's very strange. I don't know, but I think the best way is to get the soldering iron on it and then just gently, really gently melt the insulation off like that. You don't want to put too much pressure at all, because You want to make sure you get it nice and hot, and then it kind of comes off like melted cheese. But you can see even with that one there, I've kind of pulled it a little bit because of the a very strange texture to them. This thing focus, yeah, very strange sort of texture. They're quite all sort of funny like this, and you can see on the green one I've kind of pulled one of the strands out too far just by pulling on the soldering iron. The red one I did okay, but not the green one, so very annoying. I imagine they use some kind of thermal stripper in the factory possibly, but yeah, it looks like it's really easy to mess these up, but I had to practice on like the offcut that I took from the back of the phone there. But yeah, so even these half decent ones won't do it. They don't get down thin enough for some reason, so, and even if they did, I'm not sure it would be successful. So yeah, I think you have to sort of really just carefully melt that off. And yeah, there'll be a little bit of plastic still on there, but once you get the solder on there and everything, it should be fine. And saying that, I should probably test that too, to see how well these things tin. Let's just try that. Just give that a try. How well do these things tin together? Yeah, you've got to get some decent heat into it before it starts working, but it does get there. So yeah, that's successfully tinned. It's yeah, just the plastic residue, I suspect, or maybe there's some kind of anti-corrosive coating or something that they're using. I'm not sure, but yeah, it is possible to tin those, so it'll be possible to tin them and twist them together and join it up with these two and everything. I will use heat shrink, of course, and I've got a bigger piece I'll put over the whole thing. But yeah, I've got to find it is kind of annoying though, because with the amount of heat involved, whatever heat shrink I put over the actual wires may shrink down and actually shrink onto the wire before I can get it over the joint, so you got to watch out for that. So I may need to strip these a bit longer. Perhaps probably I'll do it on this end. This is the cord there. Maybe cut off a little bit more insulation, just to have enough space to actually get the heat shrink on there without shrinking it while soldering, because that can happen and that can be quite annoying. Anyway, so I'll just find my heat shrink. I found the big stuff. I've got to find the small stuff now and put that on and do it. I suppose I'll do it on camera just so we can see all the fun. Okay, so I've stripped the incoming line part a bit longer, so I've got space to put the heat shrink on. I've cut the pieces there, so I'll be able to put this over there like that, and that gives me room to work here, and then I can slip that over there, hopefully. That's the idea anyway. I don't know if this will be... this should be long enough, I guess, to go over the whole thing. So remember to put the big one on first. Of course. I may actually put another piece on as well, but we'll see. I need to strip these, so let's carefully try to strip these without damaging them. I'll do this end first because I can easily cut more off if I have to. This one's rather short already, so we don't want to do too much of that, but let me just do a little bit. We don't need to take much off, maybe like, I don't know, 8mm or something. So I'm just going to go like that. Try to sort of get that off. Yeah, so that's got about a decent amount off there. That's gone okay. Let's do the same with the green one. Yeah, that looks alright too. Okay, so now I can tin those. Again, we don't want to put that heat shrink on just yet because we don't want to... Tinning them will take quite a bit of heat, I think, just to sort of get through that that plastic that's on there. Let's see. So yes, just kind of get that on there. That looks good enough. Okay, and then we got to do the other one. Yes, let's see. There we go. Good thing about these is they stand up kind of rigidly enough that you don't have to worry too much about them moving around. Yeah, there we go. So those look pretty good. Yeah, that should be fairly decent. And yeah, that's nice and cold now, so we can slip that on there and you can see, you know, I mean, I have chosen pretty long lengths of heat shrink, but you can see, you know, there's not a huge amount of space there. But anyway, just get that out of the way. And then yeah, I can do that with this one too, which will be fun because it's still attached in here, so I might have to mess around with that a little bit. Yeah, I think there's just enough room to get this out onto here, so don't want to make a mistake. Got to be very careful with it. Just gently take that plastic off. Very gently. Trick there is to put not much force at all, otherwise the bit of the iron digs into the funny twisty wire and drags it out. It may potentially cause issues. Anyway, there we go. That looks okay. Right, so let's see, I might just route that in there to give it something to hold on to while I try to... forgot to wet my sponge too. Anyway, that's okay. Let's see. So let's bring this under here so I don't drip the solder on my mat. There we go. That'll just take off all the rest of the plastic there. And that's nice and tinned. Oh, sorry, whoops, that was in the way. Oh dear. Well, anyway, you can see that's worked. We've got a decent amount of tinning on the thing there. So the green one's still got a bit of plastic, but that's fine. So anyway, now that I've tinned these, they should go together very easily. Because that would be the other issue, you know, you don't want to have that there, and we can just sort of bring these up to each other and possibly twist them together, but maybe just lie them next to each other. Again, you know, there's not going to be any strain on this. This has strain relief here. The joint is just going to be sitting down in the inside of the case, so it's not going to be an issue in terms of needing to be highly mechanically strong, but the heat shrink will hold it together and everything anyway, so it should be fine. Now I do want to get another piece of heat shrink because this one here might be a little bit too large. I want to get a smaller diameter to go under it, so I'll just go grab that. Alright, I have a slightly smaller piece of heat shrink that I think will do well to go over both of these. Yeah, that looks good. So anyway, probably don't need 3 pieces, but hey, why not? I want to make sure this is a pretty solid joint. So let's see, how can we do this? I think the best way, I don't know if we can twist this together honestly. I think it might be silly to try, so what I'll try and do, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just use this this clamp thing. See if I can just readjust that. Okay. These things are sometimes useful. They're a bit strange, but they work, I guess. So if we clamp this into here, and then we take that like into there, and sort of figure out how to get this all angled up. Fortunately that's not very good, but oh dear, this one's annoying. I've got a better set somewhere that you can actually swivel the clips around, but I don't know where it is at the moment. It's much better than this, because these things can only go up and down and to and fro. The other one, it goes round and round as well, so it's a bit more useful. You just need to bend the wires a little bit, bring it down so they sort of match up. That looks pretty good. Don't know how well you'll actually be able to see that, but you see I've got the red wires sitting right next to each other, just side by side, because I can't really twist them. They're too stiff now with all the solder and everything, and I don't know if twisting them while they were untinned would have actually worked because of how sort of weird and twisty they are. They might have just untwisted themselves or broken or something, so I think doing it with the solder is potentially the only real way to go. I mean, just laying them side by side and just soldering them. So let's just try that and just go really quick like that. I just add a tiny bit extra solder and then just straight over the top. So there we go. That looks fine. I believe that's fine. Let's see. Is that okay? Yep. That looks okay. Does the heat shrink slip over it? Yes, it does. Excellent. So that's what we want. And yeah, there was this bare bit here, but I mean, you can't really do anything about that. I mean, I could have made it a little bit shorter if I'd made a shorter piece of heat shrink, but I couldn't be bothered fiddling around with it that much, so I'm just going to do it this way. But this piece on here will help keep everything more stable anyway, so that should be fine. Now we can do the green one. Of course, I didn't realise this was all my own fault for cutting this end first. I didn't think about that. I should have cut the other end first, really. It would have made more sense, but oh well, here we are. So let me just align these two together, get them nice and same thing, bend it into position so they're side by side as much as possible. Yeah, sorry you can't see that very well, but I mean there's not much to say, is there? You're just lying a couple of wires next to each other and carefully positioning them so they are next to each other, which is not particularly exciting, or doesn't really require much explanation. I do have to sort of the problem is they're slightly springy, and they don't necessarily want to lie flat next to each other, but there we go. Let's give that a try. Hopefully that worked. Yeah, that looks okay. I think so. Not as nice as the other one, and there is a little spike sticking out on that end where the wire was sticking away from the other one, but we can just cut that off. I don't think the heat shrink will go over it, and besides, you don't really want spiky bits sticking out because they can pierce through the heat shrink when you go to put it on. So yeah, it's just better to anyway, I've got to slip the heat shrink over there. Make sure it all fits over the other bit of insulation there that was a bit sort of ragged from being melted. But there we go, that's over there now, so that's good. So those two have there, and remember of course this is a telephone line, so it does have a decently high voltage on it, not something excessive, but I don't know, something like 90 volts or something for powering the thing, and then the ring signal is higher than that. I'm not sure, I'm not a telephone expert, but it's, you know, you don't want exposed wiring around there. It'll give you a surprise if you mess around with it, so I do want to make sure these are well insulated. Right, so hot air station. Oops. Anyway, so that's shrunk down nicely onto there. Then I can hopefully put this one over the top. So that one's going to go across that whole section there, covering all the bit from here to there. And I'm going to heat shrink that on. Yep, that's good. And then we can finally put this really large piece over the whole thing. Which may or may not be too big, but it should be fine. Yep, that looks good. Okay. Sort of wait for that to cool down, but this looks fine to me, so we should be able to put this into here. Now it will take up a little bit extra space, but that's okay, I suppose. We can just route that. Maybe instead of going in front of the switch... Oh, you can't see this. What am I doing? Okay, so back to the telephone itself now, and I just do want to do another test, just to be 100% sure that this is okay, before I decide to put it all back together and test it. So let's make sure the solder joints did work and everything. Let's get the multimeter back in shot, and let's test continuity once again from that plug to the board. So red is on the left, so we should get continuity from there to here, which we do, 1.6 millivolts, and from green to here we get a 2.7, whatever, it's probably fine. So there we go, we know that's connected now. So if when we plug it in we still don't get a dull tone, it's something else as well, because obviously the cord was bad. But yeah, now I should try and route this into here. So I'm actually thinking, instead of having it tucked under the switch assembly like it was before, I might put it round the back of it or something. Just got to make sure it doesn't interfere with anything else. No, the speaker's all the way down here, so we can go around there. I think it should be okay. I think so. I did reattach the switch because obviously I don't think that would be the issue, since it was obviously the wiring. But yeah, let me just sort of bring that down here, and then yeah, we got to just kind of route this around somehow, just to give it some extra length, because now we've got that big heat shrink part there. We've got to sort of tuck that out of the way, and I don't want to bend that too much, so in case it breaks the solder joint or something. So we do want to make sure that that is that's just left nice and straight and doesn't have to bend or anything. So let's see, if we put that switch back on, there we go. So that just kind of lies in there now, just on that side part, and then we can get this under this captive screw, I don't know, captive under this screw here. I think it went round that way, didn't it? And then it comes out through the back. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that should hold that in there, and that should be fine. So that black part is just there. We can't see that, it's all nicely hidden away. And everything is out of the way. So if and it does clear the screw stand off as well, so that's good. This still works freely. Okay, excellent. So let's put the screws back in. Well, let's put at least one screw back in. We don't need all of them, I suppose, but you know, Murphy's Law, if you put all the screws in, it's guaranteed not to work first time. So let's make sure we don't put all the screws in, and then it will work. Because now I said that, it won't. Maybe. I don't know. Superstitious much? Just a little bit. Okay. Let's plug it in and see if anything happens. I don't think the display... Well, the display might work. Just with line power, I don't know. Did I mention this is plugged into a fiber optic router rather than an actual phone line? So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know if that'll make a difference, but it should be. Does anything happen? Well, no lights turned on or anything, I don't think. But again, it might need separate power, so let me just see if there's a dial tone. I do hear something, but my headphones are on, so... Yep. I do hear a dial tone. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. I'll hold it up to my microphone. I mean, yeah, I may have to boost the volume on that or something so you can actually hear it, but yeah, I've got a dial tone now. Yep, it works. The the problem with the optical router, it's a bit weird. Like, you have to hold the hang-up button down for a little bit longer than you would on a normal phone line for it to work. But there's a speakerphone. The speakerphone probably doesn't work without batteries, I imagine. We could try it. Oh no. Yeah, that's working. Very faintly, but it's working. You can see the light come on now. That button might be a bit funny, but I guess the best test for it is to do a ring test. So let me just do that. It's not ringing. Did I do that correctly? Let's go. Oh, maybe that doesn't work on optical routers. Fiber optic. Let's see. Huh. I don't know, that's strange. 137 doesn't work anymore. Normally you dial 137, hang up, and then it'll ring you back. 1956 does tell you your phone number, so yeah, the phone is working. I can hear stuff, so that's good. The phone is working now. That's what we wanted. Yeah, I don't know. That's a bit annoying. I can't really prove that it rings unless I ring it with my cell phone or something. I suppose I could ring myself with my cell phone and see if it actually rings. Let's see. Let's give that a try. I'm imagining this should flash or something. It looks like possibly an indicator light underneath this thing. Let's see. Let me ring myself. Okay, I heard the phone in the other room going, but this one did not ring, so possibly, who knows, that could be another fault, or maybe it needs batteries in it for it to ring. I don't know. It's kind of annoying. It's a bit strange, actually. Where did I put those cells? Oh, there they are. Okay, let's give that a try, shall we? There we go. Okay. I've got a display there. I don't know if you can see that. How do I reset this? How do I make this thing go away? It just keeps counting up no matter what. Oh no. This button's a bit... Okay, adjust set. Weird, I don't know. Now it jumps up to 4 minutes and 40 seconds. What? I can set it up to like... I don't understand how that works. I don't understand. Strange phone indeed. Maybe there is a fault with the ring circuitry. I don't know. Let me try ringing myself again. Nope, still doesn't ring. Weird. Well, that's interesting. Odd. So possibly there is more than one fault with this thing. Or maybe I don't know how to use it. Again, if someone has a user manual for this thing, that would be great. What is it? Again, it's the Dick Smith catalog number, probably F9517, I'm guessing. And it's the Dick Smith FP-200. Yeah, I don't know. Odd. Very strange. I'm not going to be bothered looking more into it at the moment. I'm really not sure how I would troubleshoot the ringing circuitry. Yeah, who knows? I don't think this thing would have a ringer load that's too high for the modem. I mean, it's only 0.5 on here, and the other phone is 1, so... I mean, it should be fine, really. Unless potentially the actual ring thing is faulty. The little speaker on the bottom here that goes out through there, maybe that's bad. Or maybe, I don't know. The ringer is set to high. I thought maybe it might have been set to off, but I'd also imagine this light should flash or something when it rings, so I don't know. Bit odd. Yeah, who knows. So might have to try and troubleshoot that to actually get it to ring. But hey, it seems to work now. At least, well, I could make calls with it, which is more useful than it was doing before. And I guess, you know, I could answer calls with it too, probably, as long as I hear the other phone ringing. So that was interesting. I'm done for today. This video's gone on for too long already, but yeah. Might come back and try and troubleshoot, find out why the ring doesn't work, but other than that, it certainly is working better than it was before, which was it did absolutely nothing. So hopefully that was interesting, hopefully that was useful, hopefully that wasn't too long, but we'll see. And yeah, I'll see you next time.